Hello and welcome everyone to AARP Wyoming's 2026 Video Voter Guide Series. I'm Tom Laycock with AARP Wyoming, and we're joined today by Peter Boyle, who's running for the Wyoming Legislature in House District 58 in Natrona County. AARP has a proud 40-year history of nonpartisan voter engagement and does not endorse or oppose candidates, nor does AARP make contributions to political campaigns or candidates at any level. Instead, we ask questions so our members understand where the candidates sit on important issues and can make their own decisions on Election Day. Today, I'll ask Mr. Boyer 3 questions, allowing for a 1-minute and 30-second response to each. Then we'll give him 2 minutes to deliver his pitch to the voters of House District 58. So, Mr. Boyer, our first question is this. Recent AARP survey data suggests 80% of older adults wish to age in their homes and communities as they get older. If elected, what would you do to ensure older Wyoming residents can stay in their homes and communities as long as they want?
Yeah, thanks for the question. This is one that I've been thinking quite a bit about, actually. My mother actually she's actually 86 this year, so she's 40 years older than I am. I was surprised, it really goes in this order: is family, friends, community, church, and then government. Government should be the last, the last vestige that we use to help those that are in need. And so, realistically, one of the things that we need to look at is we're going to talk about this later, is property tax. Property taxes need to be lowered because that's going to help people that are on fixed income stay in their homes longer, obviously. And the other one is that one that I've come across recently is really getting out the message on getting seniors moving and making sure that they're staying moving, they're exercising, they're doing things that keep them healthy, eating healthy, living healthy, so that they can stay in their homes longer, and really focusing on getting their families engaged with them, whatever that looks like. So that they are there, because the family is going to know the best things that are there, or that those seniors need for their, to stay in that, to stay with longevity.
Well, thank you. Our second question for today is this. AARP Wyoming's 2023 Vital Voices survey and our 2025 member survey show that our members are seeking candidates who will protect them from fraud and scams. In recent years, we've seen scammers evolve to using crypto ATMs and deed fraud to separate Wyomingites from their cash. How would you work to protect older adults from fraud and scams?
So this is a really good question. I had to think hard about this one, so you got me with this one. It's not one that I've really put a ton of thought into before, and so I appreciate that. One is the stiffer penalties. Okay, so a lot of these guys are overseas, but the ones that aren't, we need to be making sure that we're addressing that pretty aggressively. Like, I think everyone's been a victim of a scam or fraud at some point in their life, and so we really need to be making sure that we're aggressively, punishing these people so that they learn the lesson, right? The other one is money for law enforcement, to be able to go after specific, money allocated specifically for this endeavor, so that they can go specifically after fraud and scams. And then, another one is education. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were trying to come up with a slogan for what we could do. Organizations like AARP can really help out quite a bit. But your family is your first line of defense for the elderly, because the young people know tech really well. And so when in doubt, ask your grandkids, ask them, hey, does this look like a scam? Does this look like a fraud? That is like the first line of defense right there. And then really reporting these things. The Wyoming Attorney General has a consumer protection and antitrust unit specifically dedicated to this.
Thank you. Our third and final question for today.
Man, that minute
we
30
know
is
Wyoming,
brutal.
We know Wyoming residents are concerned about rising property taxes. While property taxes are burdensome for some, they also fund critical and state local services. These services include local transportation, home-delivered meals, and home health services that keep older adults aging in place. If elected, how would you balance the need for relief with ensuring critical services are in place?
Great question. So the first one is let's get the economy rolling. Our economy in the state of Wyoming has, I mean, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, is stagnating. We need to get growing. We need to get moving, which first of all means stepping out of the way of business owners so that they can come do business in Wyoming. They bring in young families, and those younger families help support a strong economy, which provides more in taxes, obviously. The other one that an idea that I've had is that as more like a progressive, I don't want to call it a progressive tax because it's a progressive decrease in property tax with a matching rise in sales tax, so that I think property tax is something like $580 million of our budget. And so obviously we can't just take that out of the budget and expect to balance it. And so my idea, one of the ideas I have is basically meeting in the middle, is raising the sales tax, and then on the other end of that, lowering the property tax so that people that maybe are not as wealthy, or the elderly that are on fixed incomes, can stay in their homes and can afford that property tax. I know I'm feeling the pinch. I know I felt it, and so I would appreciate some property tax relief. And it's one of my big ones. One of the ones I'm going to work on.
Well, thank you for taking the time to answer our questions. Now let's give you 2 minutes to let the voters of House District 58 know why you believe you're the man for the job.
Awesome. I've lived in Wyoming now for 10 years. We moved here in 2016, and I've raised my kids here. So all of my kids have lived here the majority of their life. I'm a veteran. I served in the Army. I did 2 deployments to Iraq. I've dedicated my life to service to this country. I love the United States. I believe that many of us come from differing paths. We come from different walks of life, but I will always believe 2 things: is one, that we have more in common than we believe, than we have different. And the second one is that the best days of this country are always ahead of us. I have hope and faith that we can work out our differences, and that we can come to conclusions that are beneficial for everyone. I mean, I don't like the word compromise, but sometimes you do have to work with people maybe you don't like, or maybe that you disagree with. But it goes back to that original thing. We're all humans. We all come from the human family, and we're all working towards the same goal. At least most of us are working towards the same goal of being prosperous and happy. And I want to continue to serve. I do. It's hard. I'm not gonna make any bones about that one. It's hard. You take a lot of flack as being in the political realm, but I love America more than the pain that is inflicted by these things. So, and I really do. I think that there are some real good solutions out there, and that we can work together, all of us, to make this state and make the United States a better place, and hand it off to our children and make it a better place for them, so that they have a future for themselves. So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Mr. Boyer, and thank you to our viewers for joining us for this video voter guide. We encourage you to keep checking Cowboy State Daily and AARP Wyoming's Facebook page for more voter guides in the day to come.